The business of fashion is beautiful. It recognizes not your certificates, but the ability to actually think outside the box. And if you care to be the best at what you do, and you're not called out for the world of alterations and customer complaints on fittings, then the ready to wear space should be where you belong in fashion. And today I'm Jaket Oluwanisetro, a Nigerian based online fashion instructor and entrepreneur. I've been in the fashion space for about a decade right now, and I'm the creative mind behind Setro Fashion School. And in today's video, I'm gonna be taking you on 16 tips on how to start a ready to wear clothing line.
Welcoming you to Craft channel, where I and my husband teach male and female fashion as easy as A and B and C.
Yeah, to start with, what are ready-to-wears? Ready-to-wears are clothing that are made in standardized sizes, and they are produced in mass or could be produced on small scale basis. But the in thing is that they are usually ready to be purchased and worn immediately without any alteration. And this differentiates them from the bespoke clothes or bespoke tailoring and culture, which are made to the customer's specifications and sizes, in which you'll be required to do alterations, and the clients will be complaining the bust is not okay, the nipple is this, the hips is this, and that can really make you, if you're not caught out for that, it can really make you to be fed up of the fashion business. But while we're considering ready to wear today, and you might say, why am I considering ready to wear? I'm a brand that's been helping different brands to build ready to wear. That's what I do at Setro Fashion School. We have that capacity. If you want to start your ready to wear, we help you build that. So these 16 tips I want to give you today, you'll really find them helpful. Let's jump right into it. Number one, target audience. What do I mean by target audience? Who are those people that you want to sell those your ready-to-wear clothing to? Are they to young ladies? Are they to matured women? Are they to men? Are they to children, to teenagers? So that's the first thing that will inform your creation, as in you have to think of it, who are my target audience? That's number one. And quickly we mark to number two. Once you've known your target audience, number two, it's you create unique designs for your target audience. I want you to follow the points cordially. They are really very, very interesting. Create unique designs for your target audience. So if your target audience are matured women, married women, for instance, you know they'll like her gorgeous dresses, or like the top I'm wearing, if they are African traditional wears and the likes. So are you going to be concentrating on regular wears? Are you going to be a wedding designer? Are you going to concentrate on church wears or high street pieces? So you have to determine this. Yes, after you've known your target audience, they will inform the unique designs you have to create. And I want to mention that for you to really succeed in the ready-to-wear space, you don't have to do the styles that are everywhere. You have to do unique designs that will make your clients come over and over again. So that's it. You have to discover that point. Then that moves us to number three. Once you've discovered your designs right now, how are you going to be sourcing for the fabrics? That leads us to the third point, and which is what? Fabric sourcing and production. Fabric sourcing and production. Are you going to be sourcing your fabrics locally or internationally? Or you're going to be sourcing them both locally and internationally? You have to talk of that. And if it comes to that, if you want to major in African prints, or otherwise known as Ankara, Setro Fashion School can be of help in that. We supply African print to anywhere in the world, so we can supply you that whatever volume or whatever quantity you need, we can supply you that. Yes, we major in that. So, and if you're basing on other fabrics, English fabrics, as in whatever fabrics you want to base on, you have to get a ready source, because by the time your clients start ordering for it, the designs, and the fabric is no longer available, you're not going to be in business. So you have to have your ready source for all the fabrics, maybe locally or internationally, or you want to combine both. And the part B is the production. Yeah, the production. How do you want to produce? after sourcing the fabric, do you want to produce locally or internationally? Do you want to source to great fashion companies? We major in that at Central Fashion School. We help ready-to-wear brands produce their desired designs. So you can consult us for that. Or if you have any other companies you want to consult, or you want to produce internally, you have the competence. We're going to still get to that. So important you've gotten this point, I want to believe. Then this leads us to the fourth point: production quantities and sizes. Once you've known what you want to produce right now, ready-to-wear space is so broad. We have all this mass production. You see people producing from China in thousands, in millions. Do you understand? They give it to big fashion companies. Or your own ready-to-wear brand is just a small-scale one that you just want to produce locally, employing your own tailors and or you sourcing out to companies like Central Fashion School. So you want to determine the quantities. Are you going to be producing 100 pieces per design, or you're going to be producing 10 pieces per designs? And after this takes us to the B part of this, which is if you're going to be in the ready-to-wear space, develop your own size charts. Maybe you're in the UK or you're in the US, they already have standard sizes. But somewhere like where I am in Nigeria or in Africa, we'll find it difficult to really know our sizes. So you have to determine the size you want to go with. You know, the UK size, they're like slim, US size, they're pumpy. And you want to decide, maybe you're going to use UK size, you're going to use US size charts, or you're going to combine the two and you're going to have your own size charts that your clients will be used to. So important. You have to have your size charts. And if you're having a ready-to-wear brand, there's nothing ready to wear if you don't have different sizes. And that's it. Some persons will just feel like, I have a ready-to-wear brand, but when you get to their store, you don't have different sizes. What makes it ready-to-wear is that people can just walk in, they get their size. If it's a size 10, 14, 16, 8, whatever size they wear, they get, and they just put it on without little or no alterations. Most times it doesn't require any alteration. So you have to develop your size charts, and we can also help with that as Central Fashion School. This moves us to number 5. And what is number 5? You've gotten what you want to produce, the size, but not the likes. Are you going to produce them? Where's the money? Finance. Yeah. So what are the sources of finances available to you? How do you want to finance this? Your ready-to-wear clothing line. Are you going to be relying on friends and relations to get loans from them? Are you going to be relying on bank loans? Are you going to be relying on investors? Are you going to be relying on your savings? So you have to determine which one you want to go for. And each of them, they all have their consequences. So you have to really think of it, because finance is really, really important, highly important. So you have to really do your analysis and say, which one is going to work for me well? Is it investors fund that will be paying interest on? Is it bank loan? Is it grant from friends? Is it my savings? Please, you have to decide. Then number 6 is what? Branding. You've gotten finance and everything. Now branding, you want to commence. You've got to create a unique brand name and logo that goes with it, that just the sight at your logo, they can talk about your brand, and it's not a complex brand name. And you go ahead in this age that people are always playing smart to have your word, your domain name, even though it's a one-page website, you have to secure that name. Then you have your trademark for that, so that by the time you're booming, you can say, maybe you start, for someone like me that we've been in the fashion industry, myself and my husband were handling this Central Fashion School. We've started over a decade right now. We just have to register immediately so that nobody just goes there and people already knowing you Central Fashion School all over the world. We have students in different countries. Yes, we've been training online from different countries. So nobody can just go there right now and go and take Central Fashion School. No. Do you understand? You have to have your domain name, a trademark, then a very easy to access, a fanciful, interesting, intriguing brand name. Yes, and under this point, I want to say genge. You need what we call the right packaging. Right packaging consists of your price tag, your labels, and whatever, what's it called? Your packaging boxes or nylon. I want to tell you, when I started my Ankara stuff, I sent to banks. The way I package, I send abroad. If you see my packaging, in fact, you bow, you want to buy the Ankara. Somebody said, I just love your packaging. Just packaging, just Ankara fabric. Not to now talk of my bespoke tailoring, because I'm into bespoke tailoring, then I make for ready to wears also and whatever. So when I package my deliverables, people will just be wow and say, yes, I love it. And that's one thing in the world of fashion. You have to hype your game. You have to make sure that you have the right packaging. It's part of all your branding. Then the next number 7 is what? Product perception. What do I mean by this? There's what we call in the fashion industry price points categories. Price points category refers to where your product lies in the pricing spectrum, from words ranging from words discounts to designer. So do you want to build a budget or mass market brand, or on the other hand you want to build a contemporary brand, or you want to go higher and build what? A designer brand? Most people don't know what designer brand mean, or 80 couture brand. They just say this couture. If you really know what couture means, I think I'm going to do that in another video. You not just open your brand and say it's a couture. Couture is a French word meaning what? Eye sewing. It's a type of sewing that it's really like 60% handmade, and there are specific fashion industries in France that are given this brand that they must have specifications, the number of technical guys, technicians they have, and everything before it can be called a couture. They are for prestigious clients that pay so highly for a single dress. So you don't call couture or designer brands. And so we have the line, it's all ranges from words, from discount to mass market brand, the better brand, then we have the bridge brand, before we have what? The designer brand, then before we have what? The Esti couture brand. You have to determine where your brand is going to fall. That's just the story of all these things that make it. Don't let me speak too much grammar. How do you want your brand to be perceived? Let me explain to you further. Like at Central Fashion School, we have a price range that we can't go below. Whoever you are, if you want to patronize us, you just have to be able to get to that our minimum price, or you go above it. So with that, we already have a category in the price points category. Some persons, sometimes some persons will bring some things to me and say, please do this. I say, we don't do that. So sorry. It's just a no-no. I can't do it. So they have to know it. Others are mass market brand. They just produce anything, shabby productions just to make money. They can produce this 1 cent, this, or discount brands that just produce anyhow and they sell on discount and all the likes. So you have to determine which one, or you want to be a bridge, a contemporary brand. Just determine what you want to be. So I want to believe this has helped. So we move to the next point. Number 8, which is what? Marketing strategies. How do you intend to sell all these your products? Are you going to be using paid ad, celebrity endorsements, high profile occasion, brand association, or the social media? So which of these marketing strategies do you want to adopt? And that takes us to number 9. Number 9 is social media. Social media, so important these days. You don't have to play with it. Do you have the ability to handle this yourself? Or you're going to outsource your social media handles, your page and everything to experts to help you, because you have to get this right in this time and space. Everything is online, so you need real presence. That's it cannot be confused. You have to have all your pages, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever, everywhere. WhatsApp, you make maximum use of it and you get all you have to sell. So with this, we go to number 10. Sales outlets, or what? Your market route. How do you want to get these your products to the end users? Is it through your website or concession stores or your words, social media handles? So you have to determine your route to the market, how you want to get this product of yours delivered to your customers in the end. So important. Or you want to have physical stores across different geographical locations, so you determine how you want your sales outlets, or you want to get your products out to the end users. Number 11 is what? Staffing needs. What are your immediate staffing needs? Do you want to have different tailors, pattern illustrators, you want to have accountants, cleaners. You have to determine this, and this all depends on what you want to be operating, stores and all the likes. Can you see how they're going? Number 12, have a mentor. Yeah, when I'm talking about mentor, a fashion label or high profile fashion brand that you look up to, so you can learn from their brand direction, you can learn from their mistakes, and you can grow on what they're doing. You can improvise on what they're doing. And that leads us to the next number 13. Yeah, that is what I call it, gaining customers or your clients' loyalty. And that's friendship. How do you get to this? Life is not just about people buy into your personality before they really buy what you're selling or what you're doing. So you can do this by not just selling to them, but creating a friendship rapport. Do you tell stories? Do you tell jokes? Do you tell inspirational stories? Do you do DIYs? Let people know you for something apart from just what you sell to them that will keep you coming to them. And like me, for example, on my channel, I'm always used to, I like this gangentious this thing. Maybe when you're doing food and you say gang, or it's as easy as A and B and C. Then at times we just post jokes, and we're into DIYs and all the like. So just try to make your brand fun filled. Yes. And number 14 is what? Getting other sources of income from your brand. Yeah. So how do you go about doing this? You can collab with other industries. Like you can collab with a cosmetic brand. You can collab with an event planner. You can collab with well-known media houses, photographers. Like for us at Central Fashion School, we have a group of team. We've diversified into what sexual media. We cover weddings and occasions. We are into photography. That's one thing we do. We're also into shoemaking. We have a section called Sexual Shoes. So you can collab with shoe manufacturers, just people that will tag along with what you're doing. Like when you think of tea, you think of bread. So something like that, so that you always get patronage. What we do as sexual fashion, sexual media, sexual shoes, and all the sectors we have is that we have marketers all over from different fields, so you get paid on commission basis. That's the diversification. So when you collab with all these other brands, when you promote their business, maybe an event planner right now, they get on events and they're able to make the weddings, ashwebi and all the likes, they're going to give you a commission on that their event planning job they got, or photography. That's other sources of income, and that's diversification. You are not just to stay solo, all just ready to wear in this time and age. You have to collab and get businesses from everywhere. Yeah. Number 15 is what? After all this is your revenue. What revenue projections do you have? Have you considered your needs, the expenses? When you talk of your staffing needs, the materials you'll be sourcing, your location, and every other thing. So this will give you an idea of your revenue projections. And you know that for you to be in business, your revenue must outweigh your costs. Yes. But there is what we call in management, product life cycle. For the product life cycle, we have the introductory stage, the growth stage, the maturity stage, and the decline stage. And I want to be honest with you, when you're starting, you're ready to wear, don't just feel you're just going to jump to the growth stage. No, you're going to start with the introductory stage. And at this stage, you can read on it. You don't envisage much profit. So you have to put a lot into advertising, into location, into staff. So you just make sure you persevere in the business. Whatever business you want to engage in and you want to succeed in life, don't just go all because of the profit. Go out because you're destined to succeed at that business and you want to stay in business. And that's why we at Central Fashion have been in business for over 10 years or almost a decade right now, because we've decided to stay in business and we find fulfillment in it, and we diversify, we do so many other things. So by the time you're just starting, if you've not made your millions or whatever, your 6 digits, whatever, you just have to keep at it. And the trend is always changing. You make sure that you follow the trend. Who Moved My Cheese? If you don't know about it, you have to read about that book. You don't just stay solo. You just don't stay arcade. the fashion industry keeps evolving, keeps changing. You have to follow the trend. These are additional tips I want to add on this number 15. And the last but not the least is what can you guess? How do you plan to launch this your wonderful products? Do you plan to launch monthly, weekly, quarterly, or seasonally? Or are you going to be launching? Are you going to be launching collections or just a design? Or so you have to determine the way you want to launch your brand, your product. After you've launched, maybe 6 months after, or 3 months after, even a month after, you have to sit back and check your books. What is happening? What have you not done well? What can you improve on? And just like that, you really have to do your checks and balances and think of your pitfalls, your strength, how you improve on your strength, how you correct your pitfalls, and every other thing. And I want you to know today that if you can follow these wonderful tips on how to start your ready-to-wear clothing line anywhere in the world, I want to tell you, you're gonna be great at it. And remember, you can also always consult us at Setro Fashion School for more information if you want to know more about setting up your ready-to-wear clothing lines. We're here for you, and whatever question you have in fashion, do reach us. Comments below, and please do feel free to reach out to us on all our social media, and this being displayed below and also in the description box. And for some sewing tutorials, sewing guides for beginners, I'll drop the links in the description box below. And if this has been helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share, and just let me have what you feel about this and what more you want me to elaborate on or discuss on. So it's wonderful being here today and wonderful going through these tips with you. Have a lovely time. I remain Joket Oluwanisetro, and till I catch you and see you in my next video. Catch you, love you, bye bye. Yeah.
Welcoming you to Stetrocraft channel, where I and my husband teach male and female fashion as easy as A and B, and